If you're struggling to earn 3 stars at Town Hall 15, these are the 5 best attack strategies you need to use to smash any base. Starting at number 5, we have the Fireball Rocket Balloons. While this army is complex, this strategy is still one of the strongest fireball attacks that you can use right now. So you're going to first start with the Grand Warden. He is going to be charging through the entire base with very minimal support. So you're using mostly the healers and the unicorn to keep him healed, with a few baby dragons in order to control where he charges. Obviously, you want to use a few furnaces to speed up this charge. Not only will they clear trash buildings, but they'll do damage over time, which allows him to more comfortably clear through buildings with ease. This realistically allows you to create some solid pathing while also providing support for the Warden, while also using a rage spell to speed him up. This way you can use 3 to 4 invisibility spells in order to dive the fireball right into the core to remove the enemy CC. This allows you to not deal with it, and it gives you more free reign for your hero dive. So while your king is charging, you're going to use your Barbarian King and Archer Queen along with a Siege Barrack in order to push on the other side. You've already created one side where the Warden can walk, so he can use a rage spell anytime he needs it, while your heroes, the King and Queen, are moving around the other side of the base to clear defenses. Having the use of the Barbarian King's Spiky Ball and Earthquake Boots to open walls is usually going to be very ideal, while the Queen having her Magic Mirror and Giant are going to be able to smash defenses. This allows you to use something like a rage spell with your Warden to keep him alive, especially through high DPS, but of course also using your Royal Champion more on the back end, which will help clear any remaining structures. This way you can pretty much start collapsing the base and using your rocket loons on any remaining defenses, especially air defenses and other air targeting defenses. But for the most part, as long as you have all of your rocket balloons used and clearing through defenses, you shouldn't have to worry about any time failing, and you should be able to easily clear through bases. At number 4, we have the Mass Super Hog Army. This is one of the easier armies, as the life gem gives the Super Hogs a ton of HP who can clear through bases with ease if set up properly. Now this is a simple strategy where we're going to be starting with the Royal Champion Charge, but this time with the Rocket Spear. This is going to clear out a couple buildings towards the outside of the base, which is going to help create pathing for both our Royal Champion Charge, our Hero Dive, and our Super Hogs. This way, we can use our invisibility spells to keep her hidden as she moves between defenses. Obviously, we want to use these spells every 4 seconds, and they can overlap a defense, so that way you can still do damage to them while the Royal Champion clears another one. This is going to speed her up, and you can use a recall spell once you've exhausted all of your invisibilities. You do want to make sure that you clear any trash buildings, so something like a wizard is perfect, but you'll then want to use the furnaces and the Yeti on the other side. This is going to create a really solid funnel for you, since you are running the Barbarian King and Archer Queen with the log launcher in order to get closer to the core of the base. The idea here is to clear as much value as possible from inside the base to create great pathing after the Royal Champion Charge. This is going to allow you to use the Barbarian King's Giant Gauntlet and Rage Vial in order to do plenty of damage and splash damage around, while using the Queen with her Magic Mirror and Magic Mirror and action figure in order to not only have a lot of survivability, but also able to clear tons of value. And of course, also having something like Super Yetis or multiple Yetis within the log launcher is going to help clear through plenty of other defenses. If you don't get the Town Hall, it's not a big deal, but you've got your Super Hogs coming up. This is where you have the Grand Warden and the Royal Champion to provide plenty of support. Having something like regular Hog Riders allows you to control their pathing as they work through. Obviously, having things like free spells is definitely really helpful against things like splash damage defenses, but you should use the Grand Warden's ability over the Town Hall to avoid any damage. This way you can start to use your heal spells more towards the back end. This is going to be mainly important, especially as you get closer to areas of heavy splash. This allows you to use another heal spell and keep everything alive. Overall, this strategy is incredibly strong, and as long as you have cleanup in the form of wizards, the hog, the super riders, or even minions, this is a very powerful strategy that will often work 9 times out of 10. Moving on to the third best army, we have the mass Invis dragons. This has stayed the most reliable air attack that any player can use as long as you know how to royal champion charge. Now this is very simple, as we're starting with, again, a royal champion charge and using the rocket spears. Pretty much this is going to clear some defenses early on before we start to use 12 invisibility spells. Now since you don't have the Spirit Fox at Town Hall 15, you're gonna have to use these back to back. I recommend using these usually overlapping defenses in order to more quickly move between them. This also means that your Electro Boots will be able to damage them while underneath the invisibility. But you want to use these back to back every 4 seconds in order to make sure that the Royal Champion is getting plenty of value as she moves between them. Obviously, you do want to make sure that you don't lure out the CC, but for the most part, it is completely fine. As long as you're able to move between defenses and clear plenty of them with the help of the invisibility spells, you should have more than enough in order to get through. Once you've exhausted all of your spells though, you'll use the Archer Queen with her giant arrow. This is going to clear any air defenses if possible, but mainly to create the funnel. This way you can really start to work in your dragons while having something like either healer puppets or the action figure in order to provide plenty of support. Obviously, you want to send the majority in, along with having the Grand Warden and the Minion Prince to follow the larger group, especially if they split, unfortunately. This allows you to run the Stone Slammer more offset, so that way you're able to start moving into the base with the help of the dragons, the Warden, and the Minion Prince. You can use your Rage spell in order to push a large group in, and as you work closer to the core of the base, you can use the Grand Warden ability to keep everything alive. This should give you more than enough power to remove the Town Hall, especially if you use the Rage gem quite consistently on it. So that way, as you move closer towards the back end of the base, you can use the Minion Prince's Dark Orb ability to keep everything protected and slowed from, and having the slow on defenses is going to allow you to clear through the rest of the defenses, which makes things incredibly easy and simple, which is why this is one of the better strategies for Town Hall 15. As for the second best army, we have the new Super Yeti Titan army. This is not only just insanely strong, but it can clear through bases with ease thanks to just how high HP these troops have. Now this attack, we're going to be starting with a Royal Champion Charge again. Yep, it is by far the most flexible way in order to create a funnel, so it works insanely well in this army. And all we're doing, we're not popping the ability, is all we're using is the Electro Boots in order to basically move between defenses, allowing the Royal Champion to clear through trash buildings in addition to defenses, which makes things a lot easier. This allows you to clear plenty of key defenses and create fat funneling so you can recall her out. This way, you can use the Queen and the Siege Bark to create the other side of your funnel. In this case, we've got the invisibility spell tower. So using the giant from the action figure along with the giant arrow allows us to activate it and start moving in with our main attack. This way, we can also let the Siege Barrack create better funneling with the action figure while the Queen does her own thing. Obviously, we want to make sure that we have the Super Yetis, Titans, the Balloons, the recalled Royal Champion to move in with Super Wall Breakers to open up the different layers. This way, we can drive in with the use of the Eternal Tome and Healing Tome, while also having a Rage spell at the ready to provide support for our Electromites from the Super Yetis, in addition to the Royal Champion's rocket spears. This way, we're able to clear through plenty of key defenses and buildings, so we can clear through the back end. That way, we can use a jump or the spiky ball and earthquake boots in order to really open a large area of the base. And as long as you have some sort of proper funneling, this strategy is insanely hard to stop just because of how strong and simple it is. And the best army is currently the Root Rider Smash. Whether you're using Valkyries or Super Yetis, this strategy is reliable thanks to its ease of use and strength. So in order to kick things off, we've got obviously the Royal Champion Charge with the Rocket Spear. This is going to clear defenses early on, which is going to set up better pathing for our Royal Champion Charge, but will also definitely provide support for the other portions of our attack, so we can use our invisibility spells every 4 seconds. Overlapping defenses is completely fine because that way the Electro Boots can do damage to them while the Royal Champion moves on to another building, speeding this up drastically. This way we can pretty much clear plenty of defenses down before recalling her out of there. Of course, you want to clear as many trash buildings, so Super Barbarians are there for that exact purpose, but then you'll want to create the other side of your funnel with the use of the Siege Barrack and the Minion Prince. Obviously, you do not need his Noble Iron and the Metal Pant ability, but it is incredibly nice to have and is very much versatile. This allows you to run the Root Riders with the Super Yetis to start smashing the core. Now, the reason I take Super Yetis instead of Valkyries is mainly due to the Super Yeti's tankiness, and they will be taking damage throughout the entire attack, especially when they get sped up by rage. This allows you to pretty much have plenty of troops alive as you work around. Having the Grand Warden's ability within the core is going to allow your Root Riders and your Super Yetis to stay alive. Obviously, having the Minion Prince move between buildings is also really helpful in terms of creating funneling, but this way you have a nice large push in order to move through the back end of the base, while the Minion Prince is able to clear through any defenses towards the back end. This is realistically going to allow you to clear through plenty of defenses with ease, and you'll have plenty of troops up, maybe some Root Riders, maybe some Super Yetis, and this should really work 9 times out of 10 for you, and it is just one of the best strategies that you can use right now. Now, each of these armies are some of the best in the game and are reliable as you progress from Town Hall 15. With that said, be sure to check out this video if you want a complete breakdown of the new Root Rider Smash with the Super Yetis, or check this one out since YouTube says this is the best for you.